Is it just me, or is everybody sick of hearing about the new governance, risk, and compliance initiatives coming out? On both sides of the Atlantic, we have Dodd-Frank, we've got FATCA. In Europe, we've got MiFID, we've got SOX, we've got Basel III. Where is it going to end? And you guys have been asked to comply with all of these regulations, but you know what? You're going to have 40% of your headcount reduced. That's the nature of the business we're living in today, and that's what we've got to deal with. At Fenergo, what we've done is we've built a platform to allow you serve into these challenges, into these initiatives that are coming at you from regulatory and compliance needs. So what we've done is we've pulled together a cleansed client data repository, which we extract data from all of your other systems, and provided through this data a set of processes linked to the clients, your customers, in terms of what you've got to report on. So it's about efficiency, transparency, visibility, all within that governance, risk, and compliance landscape. So what we're going to do today is we're going to show you through one or two example processes. We're going to take the client due diligence process at the client onboarding stage, and we're going to take you through an account opening process, which will hopefully illustrate to you the power of having a central repository with cleansed client data to allow you run the process and controls you need so you can produce your regulatory reporting and compliance status off the back of it. So to begin, what we're going to do is we're going to take an example client. We're going to use Abacus Corporation. And the first thing that we'll do at Abacus is we're going to do a client due diligence process. To begin that process, we want to go about data discovery. So be they internal systems or external systems, we're going to aggregate all of the data that we have in the bank's internal systems and through our external data providers, all the information linked to Abacus Corp. Now, Abacus Corp in this scenario is obviously a corporate client. So with that, we've gone external through our suite of adapters to Fame, Orbis, Bureau van Dijk. In a retail customer, we'd go to Experian, Equifax, and we're pulling together that aggregated data so that this can provide the platform to allow us do and work through the process that we need to in a consistent and schematic way so that we know what we're doing and understanding with this customer is correct. So once we've actually retrieved that data, what you'll see is that we've pulled back 3 years accounts and we've pulled back the company report. But they come back in lots of different formats in Excel. But with the tool, we extract that data server-side into a relational data store so that we can actually perform the work that we need to in a server instance. We can't get away from the fact that all of the different touch points within our organization want to use unconnected and inconsistent data. Excel, email, Word. No matter what we do with workflow tools, all of our users break away and do it. So in the client due diligence process, you'll see that as an example, we would run it through our risk assessment engine, which would classify them as low, medium, or high risk. We would bring them through an anti-money laundering check. And what you'll see within the tool is, based on the understanding and discovery of this client, we've gone and said, right, who are the directors of Abacus Corp? Who are their shareholders? Do we need to perform an individual risk assessment and due diligence on those? The know your customer, the anti-money laundering checks. So the tool is intelligent enough to actually extract and build out that hierarchical picture for you. And based on the previous step that happens in the process, what the tool is doing is providing the next step dynamically in terms of how that work is allocated to your different teams. So using the data that we've extracted from our external adapters, that company account information can allow us to classify this entity. So what are they? Are they a professional organization? Are they an eligible counterparty? And we do that based on the data provided to us by saying, right, what's their total balance sheet value? What's their profit and loss value? And within that, we get to truly understand who the client is that we're dealing with. So it's know your customer, but the whole risk assessment part. And then beyond that, the last step in classifying the client, be it from MiFID or also from a tax perspective, you know, it's TDSI, FSCS in the UK, but FATCA is coming after, and it affects European banks because we have US-based clients. Once we've actually done our due diligence, we then go along and we say, right, what products do we want to offer this client? This can be a wizard available on the internet. It can be used by our front office staff. And what the tool is doing is intelligently driving the steps that you want your people to walk through based on the legal entity type and the products that you're offering. So for Abacus, we're providing FX in this example. Data provided in CRM systems we can extract through, like KYC information, and you'll see. But again, in the next step, what we need to do is say, right, this is the start of a process that goes from front office into credit, into the operational and documentation teams, but they all want data in different format. And what we're doing within the tool is we're allowing them to have the perceived requirements for what they need. So, for example, what product are we offering? The company accounts that we pulled earlier on, and we're building the credit pack that the credit department are insisting on. Okay? So this tool is saying, right, this is the credit pack that they want. Give it to them in the format that they want. But the important thing is that data is still server-side and remains server-side within that. So you're giving them the ability to use the tools that they're familiar with, as I mentioned at the beginning. Once that application is created in the account opening process, we will take it through the different phases within that wizard. Ultimately, as a process engine, we'll flow and we'll allocate the work that you need to. But what's important here is the reporting, is the compliance, is the regulation. If I've got data and I've got processes, I want to know where it's at. I want to know where the bottlenecks are from a workflow perspective. I want to be able to look from a product offering perspective and see, how many products are we offering, what's the profitability on it. And when you've got a centralized data system, you've got an end-to-end process management system, it allows you to do that. So what we've given you a flavor is that if you've got the baseline data, if you've got your processes, and it can be any number of processes. I just showed you a flavor of client due diligence and account opening. Any client-related process will do. If that's your space, we're outside in the booth and we'd be delighted to talk to you about it and show you the flexibility and configurability of what we've done for 10 major banks across Europe. Thank you.